KOA-TV for Denver.
This is the man accused of raping and shooting a Denver woman and murdering her boyfriend. More on that coming up. Also tonight, a warning about dangerous cargo in Denver and a man who claims squatters' rights on a car. Next on Newswatch 4.
At Arthur Treacher's, we could sing and dance about our nice, friendly atmosphere, or our nice, friendly customers, or the nice, friendly people who serve you. Hi, America! But we're going to talk about something else. What you come in for. The tender white fish, the secret crunchy crust, the big hearty chips. What makes us something else is our food, and that's the star of our show.
Arthur Treacher's, we are something else.
1881, a time for courage, a time for heroes, a time for Buffalo Riders. He moved like a shadow across the plains. To the Indians, he was a god. To the buffalo hunters, he was terrifying. 2,000 pounds of stampeding muscle, and the man who could ride him from hell into history. Now, this exciting adventure is yours to see on the big screen. Buffalo Rider, rated PG.
Now showing in the Denver viewing area for a special limited engagement.
The open range was a way of life, symbolizing freedom and independence. Today, that pioneer spirit is still with us, and Empire Savings will be around providing funds for home ownership and protecting your savings. Empire Savings, symbolizing the spirit of the Old West, just as the sons of the pioneers celebrated in song.
For Colorado, 4 stands alone. The 10 o'clock report.
Good evening. Thanks for watching. Here is the news. Big trouble in the coal negotiations this evening. Mine operators turned down the latest proposal from the union, a proposal which was to base a settlement on the contract reached with an independent coal company late yesterday. As far as an imposed settlement out of Washington is concerned, the president has yet to decide whether to order the miners back into the mines.
The man whom police believe may have been responsible for a brutal rape murder in the Denver area 2 nights ago will be back in Denver in about 25 minutes. Dana Morgan, a sergeant at Lowry Air Force Base, was picked up early this morning at a bus station in Fort Smith, Arkansas. He waived extradition and is flying back to Denver in the custody of 2 Aurora police officers. A resident of the same apartment as the victims, Morgan has been a suspect in the murder of Stuart Smolin and the rape and shooting of Smolin's companion since late yesterday. As police searched for clues as to who the murderer might be yesterday morning, Morgan reported, as usual, for work at Lowry Air Force Base. Later, he left for Arkansas on a 2-day leave to see a girlfriend. That's where he was picked up. Today, in the military office where Morgan worked, there was general disbelief that the sergeant could be involved in the crimes.
He's been an outstanding individual during his time he's been with the squadron.
Have you been aware of any sudden personal strife in his life that might have set him off?
He has had some problems, but insignificant.
The 26-year-old woman who was assaulted and then shot 3 times is now in satisfactory condition at Aurora Community Hospital. Tomorrow, a coroner's jury could begin deciding whether there was any crime committed in the death of Sidney Whitecrane. Whitecrane was an American Indian who died in a hospital 2 days after he was arrested for suspicion of petty theft. Jim West reports on today's testimony.
Whitecrane's death focused suspicion on 2 Denver policemen who arrested him in a lower downtown Denver tavern, patrolman Gary Sire and William Wickersham. This morning, James Anderson, a doorman at the Broadway Tavern, told the jury about a fight Whitecrane had with several people earlier in January. Anderson said during the scuffle, Whitecrane hit his head on a metal chair and then on the floor. It was only one of many similar incidents. Previous testimony has shown Whitecrane was often on the losing end of barroom brawls. This afternoon, Officer Sire told the coroner's jury that he aided in Whitecrane's arrest on the afternoon of January 14th, that he and Officer Wickersham were alone with Whitecrane in a small room next to the prisoner's elevator at the city jail when the prisoner took his last fall.
The next thing I noticed was a thud, bang, something hitting that writing area. I looked over, and Mr. White Crane was falling to the ground. Falling backwards, he was almost seemed in a flattened out position, and his head struck the floor.
Officer Wickersham is expected to testify tomorrow morning, and the jury could begin deliberating by tomorrow afternoon. Jim West, Newswatch 4.
And there is another claim of police brutality, this time from a Denver minister. Dave Minchell covered both sides of that story.
This is the Reverend Alvin Gay, the minister of an East Denver Baptist church. Gay claims he was wrongly arrested by Denver police Saturday morning for sticking up a parked couple near Stapleton. He claims police aggravated a back injury when he was being frisked, and that he was refused medical treatment while in jail Saturday and Sunday. Black ministers held a news conference to denounce his treatment, to demand an apology from Police Chief Art Dill, and to request a special investigation.
They claim he robbed a boy of $15 at gunpoint. Young white boy pointed his finger at a black preacher, and all of a sudden we go back to Mississippi in the 40s, when you're guilty because you happen to be black, and a white boy happened to say he did it.
Here at Denver Police Headquarters, Chief Art Dill tells a different story. He says Gay was arrested after he was identified by two people. He says Gay was given proper medical treatment, both in the jail and at Denver General Hospital.